Previously on Huevember.
Okay, first video of the year, 2021. On November, it's the challenge that I decided to take on, the Huevember challenge. The rules are simple. When I see the color orange, other than the fruit, I think of pumpkins. So far, doing this challenge was a pretty good time. I'm not stressed, I'm not uninspired, or so I say.
Welcome back, everybody. It's finally part 2 of Huevember. We're finally going to be free of this challenge because, gosh, this took forever. Anyway, let's not waste any time and talk of my experience with this challenge and probably geek out on some fandoms. Let's go! In the last drawing, I'm still pretty hyped up because I realized that I was about halfway in the challenge. I did get confused again by the colors since I wasn't sure if this one was more on the blue side or the purple side, so I just thought, it's just blue and purple, so blue-purple. So, in this case, I just try to think of the first character that appears in my mind that appeared in these two colors in any series or book or whatever. And it just happened to be Zatara or Zatanna from the 2019 DC Superhero Girls. I said the year because apparently there's two versions of this, but I prefer the 2019 one personally. Zatanna's personality is pretty much like Rarity from My Little Pony. Then again, this TV series is also developed by Lauren Faust, so I can see a lot of similarities with this show and My Little Pony, so you Brony fans, you might as well go and try DC Superhero Girls. It's actually really good. The next color was blue. Blue is pretty easy to work with in Huevember considering that there are a lot of characters with blue as their main color. But at the time of when I was drawing this, I was rewatching Emiya-san-chi no Kyo no Gohan, or in English, today's menu for the Emiya family. Now, for today's menu for the Emiya family, it's basically a spin-off of the Fate series. It leans more towards the slice of life, a little mundane, and cooking, compared to the action drama-based genre that the Fate series usually tend to go through. It basically sets on what happens after the Holy Grail War, and its inhabitants can finally enjoy a time of peace, so they are free to readjust to their mundane lives. This centers upon Shiro, where he ventures out to the marketplace to see what kind of different meals he can cook up with unique ingredients and a limited budget. I've tried some of these recipes, and dang, these are good. It is also a little refreshing to see all the servants not going at their throats and actually living like they are normal people. So instead of going for the obvious like Alturia, I decided to go after the other blue character, which is Kukulane. The next color of the agenda is blue-green, or teal, whatever you want to call it. And I picked the character named Chiyuki Fujito from Runway de Waratte, or in English, Smile Down the Runway. Smile Down the Runway is about Chiyuki Fujito, who aspires to represent her father's agency in the prestigious Paris Fashion Week, shining under the spotlight as a runway model. She has all the skills except for one thing: height. Yeah, she's only like 158 centimeters, which is not that tall and apparently doesn't reach the requirement to become a runway model. Do you think that'd stop her? Of course not. It wouldn't be a series if she actually stopped. Meanwhile though, there was a character named Ikoto Sumura, a high school student who has a knack for designing clothes. However, he doesn't have the resources to pursue on becoming a fashion designer. As fate brings them together, they decided to work together, and the two promised to rebel against the convention and carve out their own paths in the fashion world. The reason I picked her was because of a clip in the opening sequence in every episode. There's a particular dress that is similar to the color for the day, and I really love the dress. I really want to try my hand at drawing it, so here it is, my first attempt at drawing this. I did have to say though, I tried one method from a friend on sketching, so it's kind of a good experimental time. And at last, my friends, we are finally at the last 2 days of Huevember. I said 2 days because just look at these two colors. It's just two shades of green, so I just decided to combine them into one drawing. But to compensate, I decided to draw multiple characters for these two colors because for the last few drawings, all I've been doing is just drawing one character per color, so I think it's only fair. And for the last 2 days, I decided to draw April O'Neil and the Turtles. Again, I'm sorry. I really love the show so much. It really did become one of my favorite shows. And the community there is super nice. One of the best ones I've ever seen so far. It's just try the show. Anyway, what I love about this April is that she feels different, yet the same April at the same time. Like, she's very upbeat, she's very sassy, much louder than her previous incarnations, but you can see little tiny hints that she is just like the older ones. Like, throughout the whole story, she would go to these number of jobs, and then there's always the parts where she said something like, I should be in the news, which is a definite hint that she really does want to be a reporter at some point. What I also love is that not only she is in the battlefield, she is actually fighting and not being a support crew. And the fact that she is so close to the turtles that they practically consider her as a sister, that is very, very, very cool and very refreshing to see. So color-wise, I decided to go for a lighter version of her actual design. Not her skin, definitely, because to be honest, I really love her color scheme, so I want to keep it that way. Just a lighter version of her own clothes, and I decided to draw the tiny little turtles of, well, basically it's the turtles of what they look like before they got mutated. Aren't they cute? So what's my conclusion to Huevember, or basically any art challenge, especially as lengthy as a month challenge? Art challenges can reduce procrastination because of the time frame. It kind of forces you to do stuff, but in a good way. Like, say, if you're doing a daily challenge, that means you have to do the challenges every single day. Or if it's like this challenge where it's done every 3 days, you at least have a time frame to plan more carefully on how you're going to approach this. It can also teach you that you can actually create things on demand and not because you're in the mood for it, so it kind of helps you be a bit more professional, that you can access your creativity on demand and not because you just feel like it. The next one is on the case of if you're going to post your art, whether it's by YouTube or in a place like Instagram or Twitter. It can be very social and very fun. You can meet a lot of people doing the challenges, especially during the month or during the time when the challenge is happening. Art challenges is also a good way to develop your skills, especially if there are prompt challenges, because it has to help you stimulate your creativity to think of something that would relate to the prompt. It can also help you develop your own skills by drawing, whether it be by painting or any medium at all. It just develops your skills as you go along with the challenge. Anyway, I hope you guys love this video. I hope you guys love hearing me rant about these two parts of Huevember. I promise after these two videos, my videos will probably be a bit more of something else other than an art challenge. I'm not probably never gonna do an art challenge like that ever again. With school going on though, I can't promise that my schedule will be consistent. It will be there when it's there, and I really hope that you guys will stay creative and artsy. I will see you guys in the next art session.